Now, what happens when you start to do well? This thing called complacency can come and slip in and find a way to get into your life. Your newfound reality becomes the norm, and you quickly forget what it was like before. So within the space of 6 months, my girlfriend at the time left me. Just, had enough. I couldn't get in the C team at my college, which, to put it into perspective, there's a squad of like 20 players in each team. So you've got your A team, 20, B team, there's 20 in there, and then C team, there's 20 in there. So I'm like bottom 20, which is mind-blowing to me at the time as someone was trialing at academies, doing well, on track to be pro, go do my thing in football. And now I can't get in the C team. Complacency slipped in. Going into college, I've picked up football obviously before. Now going into college in a football program, I think I'm the guy. We've all been there at some point in our life where, we think we're better than we are. And then I was put around a group of hungry young boys that want to play football, that want to be professional. I struggled, I sunk. And that complacency slipped in, that insecurity started to rise again. I'm in shape, I'm doing my thing, but 20 other guys are, 30 other guys are. That stage caused me to kind of reverse the habit. I'm in a relationship, life's on easy street, I'm getting everything given to me, roof over my head, food anytime I want. I'm turning up just doing football every day. Life's a dream, And with a dream life, complacency can easily slip in. Fast forward a year into that life, with my mates, you start getting a bit older, you start getting exposed to a little bit more things as well. When you're 17, 18, you start getting exposed to alcohol, you start getting exposed to drugs, you start getting exposed to even more women, you start getting exposed to all sorts of stuff. And the little pea monkey brain that we have at that age is like, whoa, what's all this? And you go off and explore. And then you get a year down the line, you look back and you're like, oh my days, I'm completely off track. You was meant to be a pro footballer, you was meant to be this, you was meant to be that. And suddenly, I found myself in like a rut. I found myself in a bad place again due to complacency, that word complacency that I've used before. All them things happening within a space of 6 months is destructive, is extremely destructive for someone to experience. That experience had such a detrimental effect on my well-being mentally, my well-being physically. We had lockdown at that time as well. So you threw that into the mix and it was like I was a mess. I was a total mess. That's why physical health, and not just physical health, but like health as in generally, psychologically, physically, socially, and every metric you can measure has become extremely important in my life. I've got a rule. This is a rule that I use for myself, but this is also a rule that I use to anyone I coach or anyone I talk to. I'm like, you can have a bad day. You can have a bad day. That's fine. Don't have to. The other day I was laying in bed. I was just watching films all day. I was knackered. I feel like I was burnt out. Work, gym, boxing. I was like, whoa. I had a bad day. That's cool, man. Just don't make it 2. Because 2 becomes 4 really quickly. 4 becomes 8 really, really quickly. 8 becomes 16. That doubles and now you've had a month. You've had a bad month. Especially like looking after your body physically. If you've had a bad month, it is so difficult to reverse it. It is so difficult to get back into psychological flow state of doing the right things. It's so difficult to lift yourself up at 6:30 a.m. and go to the gym. It becomes really difficult. What I think hasn't been explained well, especially when it comes to discipline, is it's just a buzzword, discipline. You gotta be disciplined, you gotta be disciplined. But we don't actually understand what discipline means. It means doing the thing you're meant to do regardless of how you feel. Cool, that sounds great. But what we don't understand is what it does for us, what it does for you. Discipline puts you in a space where the things that used to be difficult are not difficult anymore. Because I used to look at it like discipline is just doing hard things all the time for the rest of your life. You got to do hard things for 70 years and then you die. That's how I used to look at discipline. That is not the case at all. Discipline is you go through a phase, a difficult phase. Like you want to get intelligent, right? Read some flipping books. But in order to get in the habit of reading books, guess what? You got to start reading some books and it's going to be boring and it's going to be long and you're not going to want to do it. But then you get to the point of showing up to the point where the thing you found difficult becomes easy. The thing you found difficult becomes enjoyable. When you see people doing these triathlons, marathons, boxing, and they're in crazy shape and whatnot, like if you think they actually find it really difficult to get up and train every day, you're having a laugh. They absolutely love it. The exact same way that you look at that spliff, the exact same way that you look at that bottle of alcohol, the exact same way that you look at them chocolate bars is the exact same way that these athletes, that these people that are on this self-improvement thing and have done it for a sustained period of time, that's how they look at the gym. The gym is a chocolate bar for them. They love it, they enjoy it. And that's the thing with discipline that has not been taught at all. It's never been taught. Flow state is a word that's come out in recent years in like neuroscience. but it hasn't been like looked into and studied. And I feel like I've studied this unintentionally just by going through the phase. Yeah. Anyways, I'll go on a tangent about this. I'll start talking about neuroscience and stuff.